is up there, the fourth Monaco friend. He squeezes Neil Yates and he's able to just get the ball back. John Bolton now trying around the outside of Neil Yates. Sixth position for Baton. In second position, looks out the top. Kept the fantastic start that for the 10-time champion Stuart Oliver. He's interesting to see. The four drivers of the top two rows, 25 national titles between three of the four drivers on the top two rows with David Jenkins having won the championship in 2010. Stuart Oliver with 10 titles, Ryan Smith with 10 titles, and Ryan that's currently in first play out. At the moment, he knows that John Motor is going very well this weekend, and he's going to be looking to make up that second place. Might have a change more third position for Ryan Smith to get the job done. Dayton looking to try and squeeze his way through. He's stuck inside of John Bolton. They go, and the race leader still Stuart Oliver, 10 titles to his name. First half of the season across the line, another lap complete. Neil Yates in second, Ryan Smith in the third place drive. Behind him. I did notice that Simon Reed was still in the race, the number 89, I reckon, bit late. The fourth weekend of problems with Simon Cole. He's yet to play. So the top three are through. Into the change of direction and the sweep they carry through those series of corners. The left-hander of Surtees and the right-hander of McLeod is absolutely awesome. He's such powerful machines. Up to the line comes Stuart Oliver. Up to the line comes the race leader. Truck number 7 across the line now in second place. Will go Neil Yates. Ryan Smith in third place. John Bowler and then David Jenkins and Michael Oliver. as Saturday for John Bowler easily. And just that, as you say, that was a good moment going wide on the exit of Graham there. All of a sudden, opens up again. Together for lap after that. Ryan Smith takes a slightly wider run in towards Clearway's corner. See whether he might be able to sort of cut back and get the overlap on the 8 is wise for that. His collisions his truck for no opportunity to grab the inside line. So Ryan Smith will head over the start finish line. He'll be able to break the motor out. They're all limited to a maximum top speed of 100 miles per hour. It's in reverse, it's under power, going as far away as it can. And here we go, it looks as though Ryan Smith is finding a room for second place. Inside line and ahead of fourth, Manning well out the way on the grass to be on the and something almost on the show is heading around to Euros now. And I wonder another time, and he's going to be well aware that Ryan Smith is now in second place and closing. Did you notice how neat and tidy the overtake was for Ryan Smith on near the 8? It was perfectly clean. Recently, he'll get onto the right. Left it in, between these two drivers, 20 national track racing championships between Stuart Oliver and Ryan Smith. It is level pegging between the two of them as far as track racing is concerned. And one of them wants to change that this year. Someone did say that today. We've got a truck as well for the right I'm getting closer and closer. Oliver and Ryan Smith as they come towards the line. Stuart Oliver about to break the TSL timing being now Brian Smith goes through in the second race. It's down by 4 tenths of a second, 1.111. Just over 3 minutes of the race. This one, gap was 1.111 seconds. Previous lap, the gap this time comes down to 1.105. Come down by a whisker. Today, as you say, Mark, only by a whisker. We have 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Stuart Oliver. 1 second. It is now 1.025. So it's coming down for only by Here comes Ryan, across the line they go, what's the gap? Has time for us to mention, or are we going to see the second place I wonder, has Brian planned this assault right to the end of the race? Stuart Oliver coming up in decent picture, with traffic to deal with as well. They turn 230, they turn through the Paris. They are now into flashing yellow power lights as they go through past the splitters up in the gravel. And here comes Brian, up towards the line they go. They've got one truck to the left of them. Stuart Oliver is going to take the win. But boy, was that checker back? Yes, it was. Thank goodness for that, said Brian Smith, because that was the final lap. Lights go out, and as they head up towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time, Eric Thompson is going to lead the way. Is Aaron Thompson going to squeeze through into second? Down at Druid, but that's a spin across into the ground travel side. And Mel Collins is racing backwards. Thompson, building is time. Breathe in. On the left-hand side of the track, going through Surtees is that much slower truck of Melvin Collins, and everybody just about gets through.
Yeah, that was tight stuff, wasn't it? Melvin Collins trying to get out and work out the way, but front runners went it right on the apex of one of the fastest corners here at Rantatch on the Indy circuit. Alec away from Dale Jent in second place. Dale Jent is in real
No one wants to when they come once again. And this is what I'm referring to. The very well back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It couldn't be any closer, could it?
It certainly couldn't, and at the moment it is still just about Alan Cooper that has the lead advantage from Dale Jent. So it's two of the newer bodied trucks that lead the way at this stage. Aaron Thompson sitting there in third place, and those top three just breaking away from Mark Willis, who's there in fourth, but he's under pressure from the reigning champion Brian Hadfield. He's got Eric Thompson and then Dan Fisher.
Is looking all over the back of the second place truck into the right hander at clearways. I want
He is back into second place. Dale Jent though is looking to try and re-attack the head of
the stories from the drivers themselves. That machine of Alan Cooper who leads, and now
and then on to the line of our race leader Alan Cooper, who leads by 1.6
We spoke about yesterday quite a lot about being the bridesmaid in this championship for so many years, and is
on the podium in this race, but he might not quite get there because Aaron Thompson has a really good effort to
certainly from the younger members of the audience, there are likely with green liveries in so many disciplines up and down the country, but it's a very welcome livery in the pickup trucks. Mark Willis comes through in second place, Dale Jent right there behind, and they have a gap of
pressure from Alan returns to the championship number 5 down division. To the inside line, goes forward. Just in the first half,
He's been a sit for that, Mark Williams. Always goes well here at Brands Hatch, does Mark, but isn't necessarily full of great memories for Mark Williams. But I'm going to say it was here at Brands Hatch that so many times he was resigned to be. Between the two of them as they come up towards Clark Curve.
Yeah, my nemesis with racing these championships since the very, very early days. 22 years ago, he was first to run. 24 years ago, when we running the championship was Michael Smith, who's also on the British
down for the race leader. Cooper crosses to the line, still in the lead. What's the point? 0.299 this time. But you know slowing into Dale Jensen's to the back of him. Eric Dale Jen goes wide, kicks up the dust, and the final track on the was very lucky to get away with that.
He was, yeah, off the wrong place, but he did lose huge amounts of time to everybody else.
Into the gravel and uphill there just to the race leader did so well with the pressure excited because Eric Walton is right there as well. Willis right on the tail of the race leader, up towards Buckner. Is this going to be the opportunity that he's looking for?
We'll wait and see. And certainly the last few laps have been Mark Willis that's been applying this pressure. Can't quite get there again. So he's going to try the outside line. Every lap, he's going into corners, into the one out of the corner. Mark Willis is off the ground, side by side, up towards the line, side by side with the race leader. There's almost a minute touching between the two of them. Who's going to win? I can't call it. I can't call it. Let's see who's it's Mark Willis on the time trip. Mark Willis racing speed. 32 pounds to the second. At the moment, there is always a front-end finish that's good. As they get to the line, even on the replay. On the outside line, heading up towards Paddock Hill Bend, Ricky Collins got two wheels on the grass on the front. Neil Yates that leads the way from in second place. Stuart Oliver, who is under attack from John Bowler, but Stuart has got the outside line and Drury who's doing the inside line as they get down to Graham Hill Bend. The top three have broken away a little bit from Jenks, who had that small trip through the gravel remaining fourth.
Stuart knew how important the start of the previous race today was, and he knew he had the job to do again. Made a little bit simple on the fact that Simon Reed wasn't there on the front row of the grid, but holding it out all the way around the outside, to Druids, and then he wants a bit of this action as well. This is going to be a spicy race.
It certainly is. They all make the same order. So long as they Jenkins who was trying to nip through. They two wheels on the grass heading in towards Graham Hill Bend. Needs to be careful, doesn't lose a place in the triple there in the fifth place, which is Nathan Smith. The only lead in Division 2, by the way, is going to wheel up at number 10, MAN, which is Jake Evans, who's in the fifth. He's actually under DAF actually, and John Powell who's not.
John Bowler under a huge amount of pressure going into Paddock Hill Bend from David Jenkins, who goes right, goes left. Once again, a really nice words from Stuart Oliver down there in the pit lane about how plenty of the drivers on the grid are just getting better and better, and Neil Yates came in for some really nice words from a top-time champion.
He has, when he first appeared in the championship a few years ago, was trying to say that Neil wasn't the most competitive of drivers. He very early on in his truck racing career had that enormous accident at Scrunston as well, which sort of taste in the area we're all looking to escape. He's also leaving the door open, Michael Oliver, to allow Ryan Smith to try and squeeze his way through. There's a black and orange flag.
But he continues on his way. He is down there in what is sixth place with body weight hanging on the front of the truck as the race leader now is stood on the right in his wheel tracks as they go around Surtees up towards the right-hander McLaren into clear in turn. David Jenkins has dropped a little bit further back because he's having to deal with
stuff from Neil Yates. The difficulty will be...
Stuart Oliver in his wheel tracks in turn. John Bowler right there behind him. Champion at the tail of that seven-ton straight.
There off them, and Neil Yates very slowly out of Grey Hill then has lost the lead of the race and is dropping through the order, because once that door is open, everybody goes through. Stuart Oliver picks up the lead, John Bowler is up in the second, Neil Yates is on the grass as well, heading round through Surtees and McLaren, so Bowler a little bit of contact somewhere around the lap, and as I said earlier on, it doesn't necessarily...
They all close up together, so it's a vortex at the front, and Oliver at that vortex, and Oliver at the back of it. Michael Oliver, yet to be a champion in the British Truck Racing Championship. They all head through now the left-hander at Surtees. Stuart has put a little bit of daylight between himself and the truck of John Bowler. 3 ways they go, and John Bowler did at the final meeting of last year as well, didn't he? And they turn in the same order.
Stuart Oliver still leading the way. That small gap between John Bowler and so pressure. Keep an eye on what's going on. Now the third in Division 2 has just gone Bradley Harvey, so I do wonder whether number 6 Dan might have a small issue. So Stuart Oliver around to come through to conclude lap number 8.
And himself on the third place truck of David Jenkins, with all of the first two of the families that are here to reach of a 10-time champion in the form of Ryan Smith, right there behind. They still the way out of the two where they come once again. And Stuart Oliver is the second place. Just as much as Ryan Smith.
For John Powell, I think, without question. We've had a change as well before, haven't we? Right, it's straight into the head of Michael.
Just still on the run up towards speed. Harvey is closing on the back of David Jenkins in third place. Ryan Smith is very good planning laps of the race. And once he's got 5 minutes and 18 seconds in this race. Ryan Smith is coming, but no mistake about through the final right-hander of 4 ways of Park Curve. Come the race leaders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jenkins, Ryan Smith, Michael Oliver, Nathan Smith, they all come through. In order to prove their own now, and they
himself and Bradley Harvey, they came over the start finish line on the previous lap. Bradley Harvey was only 4 seconds back. There on the Bradley Harvey now to the right hand corner. The 96 truck goes through. Simon Cole's got stranded in the gravel or trying to get out of the gravel from that Druids, and that has now led up to second in Division 2 from Warren Harvey in his debut Truck Racing Championship. Third now in Division 2 is going to be his son, which is going to be directly behind Bradley Harvey. Over the start finish line will come our race lead. Oliver leads the way. John Bowler 1 and 3/4 seconds to drifted in second place.
down towards Granville Bend, the left-hander, which is just being rotated by the resplendent liveries and new liveries this year of number 16 now. So it's out of the corner, heads down the Cooper straight. That truck is not as quick as Steve would like over the course of this weekend. It looks spectacular, so a little bit more work to do on the pace of the truck. That is heading around 4 now. Another lap. Callum Vinson is about to leave pit lane, I think.
His truck, there's definite smoke coming from the back of the reigning champions machine. So as they head through Paddock Lane, John Powell to stay out of harm's way. We are going to virtual safety truck at the stage.
Yes, we are. Callum Vinson came out on the track just at the right time, didn't he? As the rest of the field, he had to get right over to the right-hand side. It was almost all.
Headed towards Paddock Bend for the first time. Jake Hewlett leads the way. To second, yes, I think he can. He goes through into second, and Alistair Camp from what is usually the favourite starting position outside. It loses a place.
Matt Wilkins deserves that because he was really in the front two rows, one away from the line, and the best of all of them. And he's made that manoeuvre. Stickings up there into second place. But at the moment is a little bit of a cork in the bottle because Jake Hewlett has been able to put a bit of daylight between himself and the second place car. And Matt Wilkins, they 1.175 of a second. Well, my goodness, that's a
second place. Come on behind it now. It is now the break on Dave Marshall, who's come from probably sixth on the grid up to third after the first lap of racing. He started on the outside of the road. The grid is now down into fourth place. Jake Renshaw right behind him, and then Wesley Swain will lead to the top six at this stage. But for Jake Hewlett, I said he wanted to make amends for the problems that we felt in when he was disqualified from the race yesterday. Well, what a way to do it with a brilliant first two opening laps.
dominant. It's now extended to 1.776 of a second. Third place is Dave Marshall, isn't it? Heading down the hill towards the left-hander into Granville Bend. And that was a bit of a moment, you know, coming through Granville Bend with a race leader. That was an odd angle. And using all of the curbs for Jake Hewlett doesn't need to really be pushing on quite as much as that. But I think inside the car that would have been quite a moment.
You look at the lap that he just did, he's at 0.7 seconds, it's now to 2.1 seconds, as he now comes to 53.4 seconds.
As he goes around the left-hander, he's in this time for the race leader, Jake Hewlett, who is trying to do what he needs to do, because with a full field like this, the chances are you're going to be in traffic before the end of this race, and the bigger the cushion you've got, the easier you can be.
Trying to run out onto the circuit near the Cooper Straight and put a bit of very early on at the start of the next race, they're both on the track again.
Back onto the tarmac, aren't they? Yeah, two of them. Once you finish, you start again. And we wait for the race leader to get to the finish and then start again, because he's coming towards the conclusion of another lap. Who is looking every which way, this time going into Paddock Bend, has a look on the left-hand side of the track and then slots in just race leader is a there. Once again, what's the advantage that he's got? It's now 2.9, almost 3 seconds in the advantage for the leader.
Yeah, because Matt Wilkins is more focused on defence, trying to hang on to second place. He'll know when he's giving time away to the race lead, and I don't think he knows that he's ever going to be able to catch him. So let's just hang on to second at the moment and try and keep that enormous train of Honda Civics, whether they be, again, is not close enough as they had a quarter mile. Alistair Camp still sitting there in fourth, generally
Joe Hewitt, the race leader, planning for the future during this race. He's going to be in traffic fairly soon. For him, it is only one car, one solitary car that we have to do. It's the first of the lappering about to come up. We've got a black and white warning flag about to go out down on the start-finish line, and that's going to be for track limits to cars 37 and 7 is all the way down the river now. So they're both receiving track warning limits. The race is the first just ahead of the grey and black machine, the race leader gets past on the outside on the run up towards Surtees, the left-hander. Then we've got this second place battle still. A bit more daylight this time between the second and third place.
This is the air, much, but just a tiny bit. Back marker's got well through the rest of the race. A good driving by. He is the back marker. He is a novice, so he's still got that yellow square on the back of the car with the black diagonal across for it.
Probably about 8 or 9 cars have been through now, and some of them are having to work their way around on the wide line coming out of Graham Hill Bend. And the race leader is just coming up towards Clark actually talked up for the race leader. Joe Hewitt's race is all his own.
It is, and he's continuing just like a couple of tenths quicker than everybody every single lap. So the gap is now to 5.2 seconds. Mistake, and everybody's going to be through it. Matt Wilkins has done a sterling job of just making sure that he focuses on the road ahead, doesn't worry about the road behind, make sure he's cleanly off the corners. Maybe if you have to, give a bit of time on going in, but don't give any time along the way out. Get on the front nice and early, get a good exit. That is what keeping him in second place. Dave Marshall there in third, and Alistair Camp, who we've seen out racing in TCR UK in the past, sitting there in the black of Davo Big Car.
He made the point before the race started that yesterday, not only did that shows how much they're picking up in the single
contact's been close on occasion. Tonight been a little rough, but no more than that. When you are pushing the very limits, hats off to all the drivers for just being sensible, driving as hard as they can, but driving fairly as well. 4.9 seconds speed advantage, so it did come down last time through. So a bit like yesterday, when he was ultimately excluded, he eased his pace and controlled it. I think we're now at that stage of the race with 5 minutes to go.
You don't have to take risks, do you? Once you've got that little bit of a push, you've got to push
Absolutely. So, our race leader is on lap number 12 at the moment. Exactly 4.5 minutes to go. He's got clear daylight between himself and Matt Wilkins. Marshall has almost got the overlap this time coming out of Clearways and up towards Clark Curve. He's on the inside line, he's gone round through Clark Curve. They're still running side by side. Yeah, Bed 2 on the right hand side, the EP3 on the outside line, but by the time you get towards Paddock Hill Bed, finally Dave Marshall is able to halfway break on through the second contact. Try and close that.
Race control downstairs, so we had a photo finish a little bit earlier on, but they were all, I have to say, in very good spirits.
That's usually the same when you get lots of pupils having to go and see the headmaster. Yes, there's usually lines or punishment, isn't there, coming up?
I'll say that they were, Mark with his tail down, but both downstairs, but they were both in really good spirits.
And that's why when we always give you the results, they're always the provisional results.
Yes, who knows?
So Dave Marshall up into second. There's not time for the Dave Marshall. Experienced driver or perhaps one of those who's in your first weekend of racing, there will always be some mitigation.
It certainly will, yeah. That is right the way down the order. The race leader has already been through and completed 13 laps, or 13 laps of the World Cup to pick up 14 laps as the leader comes through. So Joe Cullen with an advantage this time of 4.9 seconds on the gap that remained pretty constant over the past couple of months. So hard to get through this situation, and now he's clear and he's able to do the rest of the laps and just less than 2 minutes left on the clock. Something around 65 of Dave Marshall. He's doing his level best to pull away, isn't he? And close up the gap, but I'm not sure he's got enough time.
I'm just having a look at the squad construction 7, 8, 9, 10, which is going around 30s. McLaren, it was going to be Don McGrath fighting away with Wesley Swain, then second car Josh Cromwell, time minutes 45, Peppers and 86, then behind the brilliant on that side to the most start.
Second race, and they have got to do a bit of traffic, so they are in the traffic for the final 35 seconds of this race. It's going to be the final lap that they go on to as Joe Cullen comes across the line, and crosses the timing beam now, so down towards Paddock Hill Bend comes the race leader. He's led every single lap. This has been a very important race for Joe Cullen. Is being prepared in radio contact with race control. Checker flag will be prepared and waves for Jake Cullen. Comes across the line and takes the race win here at Brands Hatch. Absolutely superb effort. In the pocket, he had 3.5 seconds to Dave Marshall. And in third place, Wilkins comes through. Camp in fourth place, Stevenson in fifth place. Renshaw leads the top set. But a super.
But Jensen and Neil going. Druids, yes he is, and just ahead of him to be one over.
Maxwell didn't get the start he wanted at all, did he? The leaders to right the way down the order. In front of him was the car of Jack Constable, so quite a few of the cars have got off on the grass and avoidance as they go up towards the left-hand circuits. I think everybody has got back onto the circuit they have. As the leader comes up and completes one lap. Druids get out of the gravel because it's deep into the gravel. The leaders will come over. U.K.
Here we are, yes, so Callum Easton leads the charge. Overlook that, finds himself in a podium slot. Less than the race at the beginning. Weekend goes from back to stallers, and meanwhile Max Hart is going to be a little bit disappointed.
Beautiful sunshine here at Brands Hatch for the final TCR UK race of the weekend. And the second race car of Brad Hutchison. Side of the car, well with that one as our race leader, so he's further stretched the advantage this time. place, that final place on the podium. Then Jensen O'Neill going, and then John. Clark curve up towards the line they go. And line up the approach but bear in mind that
three different drivers over the three races.
and he's really applying the pressure to the because car forming goes side by side. They get very, very close indeed. And just one of those in front. But car forming U.K this weekend. It's been a great start to the year, hasn't it? Calibration has taken the checkered flag. There was a black and white warning flag being displayed down on the start finish line. Calibration takes the first win. What pace and what racecraft as well. Super stuff from Callum.
Yeah, well done to Calibration. So three different winners out of the Championship race of the day. Second. Panakill went for the first time. Ricky Collett has the inside line. John Bowler's trying the outside. Is he going to hang on to it as John Bowler tries to break it out around the outside? Bowler breaks it out around the outside, then needs to cover off anything that might be coming from behind. So Michael Oliver in third place running side by side with the first of the Reeds. And off and onto the grass goes Neil Yates, who hopefully might avoid the barriers. And Graham Bent, yes he does because it's dry grass. Wow, still gas on just the first lap of this one.
It's just as well. There's a very, very long and uphill runoff, isn't it, on the outside of Graham Bent, and Neil Yates joins as they go down towards Panakill Bent for the first time. Bearing in mind how boisterous that
Jake Evans, and then Callum Easton's third in Division 2 in the early stages of this one. So Ricky Collins still continuing to lead. You've actually got a rookie day right now between himself and John Bowler, who's there in second place. Michael Oliver is still there in third position. And it will be Craig Reed who's there in fourth position, because the timing screen, Alan, no longer just says Reed and Reed. We didn't have C Reed there in fourth place.
Another lap at the front of the field. He has won races here at Brands Hatch in recent years. Very nicely indeed, thank you.
Yeah, that's the self-built truck as well, the Collin family, Woolwich firm, Collin Woolwich up in Halifax, lead engineer within the family business for a huge amount of years. He's a former Division 2 champion, he's a former Division 1 champion many years ago. Ricky Collins continues aiding Ricky Collins' cause a little bit, isn't it? The fact that John Bowler is not that far away, but
still points of the Barcelona, who's been driving determinedly all weekend, but I think he's not going to be happy to be third for this final race of the day. The sunshine comes out here at Brands Hatch. I'll tell you what, we had a treat of racing from the trucks this weekend.
Brilliant stuff. John Bowler with Michael Oliver sitting there that little bit further behind. Train of trucks.
Number 3 rig as the leader is turning through McLaren up towards Clearway. Drivers have competed for quite a few years, learning their skill and are capable of
Ricky Collins still continuing to lead the way. Truck ahead of him, Simon Reed, for the last year. Second so far, that's second on race day, getting 59.252. The problem is, he's sort of bottled up now, and he's not going to improve upon that in terms of pace.
John Bowler was posed on the Ricky Collins. Left-hand side on the approach to Hadfield Fair. They turn so far today, and the leader turns and we've got a problem up the bridge.
We have Nathan Smith coming into the tail end of Tomo in the wrong direction, and through his Nathan Smith's got away with it. Trying to get a ball time. Tomo gets the truck pointing back round in the right direction. He's way down through the order, I'm afraid. Race continues though, and we've got 8 minutes to go. Ricky Collins has spent every lap so far to start Ben, but again, he's just too far away at the moment.
Craig Reed.
And as
actually, and it was.
As bounciest Tigger.
As bounciest Tigger, he most certainly will be. The approval of the crowd here at Brands Hatch have been, if you've been coming to truck racing. Yeah, John Bowler has turned up the pressure, hasn't he? Michael Oliver is right there as well. Now goes down the hill towards Brandon Bed. John Bowler is right there. In turn, Michael Oliver is right there with John Bowler. In turn, so to the fourth place is still the truck of Ray G. Right behind him is David Denton. And Oliver in turn behind them. So, are we going to have an interesting last few laps in the front of the field?
No, because he heads up towards Paddock Hill Bend. And for Michael Oliver, he's able to get a great deal out. The pressure is off and the smoke and now the flame coming to John Bowler.
John Bowler, because he's been going so well this weekend and reminded us when he was down in the pit lane. 10 years with John Bowler, and he's trying to find a safe place to win the championship.
Ideally, close to where So, Ricky Collins leading the way, and for the first time does not have a huge amount of Collins leads now by 1.1 seconds to Michael Oliver.
Has got that little advantage now after the smoking truck of John Bowler. So we can call it for the first time during the course of this race. He's needing to be very careful there is traffic to be dealt with before that goes to the end of this race. On another lap. Through Paddock Hill as well.
Now, the Ricky Collins will really hope that Sammy Owen is just quick enough through the yellow. Way right, and he will do just as they get back into green flag racing this time through, so they'll meet the season on the exit of Graham Dorset. When the Ricky Collins get by and nobody else before Surtees, that'll be ideal. It's like so very sensible, and that's the way for us to go through. So Ricky Collins leads 15 seconds remaining on the clock. But Ricky Collins is going to have to keep pushing. He can't stop. Check the flag is being ready, you know, for the finish line.
The official down on the start-finish line was looking at his watch and counting down, and also maybe it's got to be Michael Oliver's post right up there. It's got to be as soon someone that has been racing since the 1990s in the British Truck Racing Championship. Really doing a super job. They head out of Blackpool then.
Stuart Oliver said earlier on to you there was life in the old dog yet. Well, Ricky Collins, there's life in that old dog as well at this stage. He continues there towards the carrot. Michael Oliver has got one more opportunity. Coming off three away up towards Clark Kerr, but he's not quite going to get there. Ricky Collins, who has been racing, who has been racing since 1990 in the British Truck Racing Championship, he's going to claim the final win of the weekend, and he is going to have a huge smile on his face. Michael Oliver finishing in second place, his best result of the weekend. Craig Reed in third, more solid points today. Jeff Gibson finishes in fourth, with Ryan Smith in fifth place, Stuart Oliver in sixth. Steve Powell, his best result of the weekend, comes through finishing seventh, and Nathan Smith the drivers right, and they get stretches his legs to pick up the lead of the race from Tom Hutchinson as they head onto the brakes at Druids Corner. So it's Ryan Hadfield, the champion from last year, that leads the way from Hutchinson. Dan Bishop, his return to the championship after a sabbatical last year, was a third.
Ryan Hadfield made that look, and make no mistake, it wasn't easy, but he made it look easy on the approach to lap number one.
Eric Morrison trying to sneak on the inside. Coming out of Paddock Hill then, drivers have to either jig right or jig left to avoid the stricken Mark Willis. Then there's further contact on the run up towards Druids, where Dan Fisher gets tackled up with a second station inside of the circuit of the players. That's been the line, no flags, and a certain spin back.
Good on going. Bear in mind the amount of incidents Mark Willis was able to enjoy. Albeit there is rolling wounded, it's fair to say, but Mark Willis heads through Graham Hill Bend now, and some of the wounded, and that's the truck of Daniel Fisher.
A very fun pickup line, lead advantage at this stage from Jonathan Hadfield, his brother sits down in third position. Fourth place is going to be the car of Alan Cooper. Now Eric Crompton looking for second here, drops himself alongside Jonathan Hadfield, and a little bit of rubbing between the pair of them, but that's about all. And they managed to sort themselves out, but it is allowing one car to try, one truck to try and get its way up the inside, and that is going to be Alan Cooper. Jen feet his way through.
Yeah, turns the number one machine through out of it. The others are just going side by side through the corner, and they are side by just has the advantage in second place from the truck of Alan Cooper. In third place, they accelerate down the Cooper straight into 30s. They go one long line of pickups, and that's what we know.
Sideways movement there coming out of Clark Kerr. Sideways, somehow didn't hit the big wall. So Alan the major really have changed the championships since the first started 30 years ago. The formula works, but don't typically
the regulations and the technicals about the trucks, but these are racing machines. That's what they do. They are designed to go racing. They raced for quite some years rocking the Motorsport on the oval.
and of the race leader, which is still Ryan Hadfield, and we've got
first quarter of the race is complete because we've got 15 minutes left to go. The number one second place just coming up now and out of the corner down the Cooper straight goes Alan Cooper, and in third place has already gone on to another lap. Really good pace as well. Mark Willis BT.
He is, but he's nothing about 2 seconds quicker than the That's a larger gap to try and close up before he gains one further place. The fight still brewing for second and third place. Alan Cooper and Eric Bolton still together at second and third. Sixth position at the end of this.
And what is the gap? It is 4.3 seconds. He's not starting, and that line was very tight to Blackpool there, avoiding the curves on the exit. We still see because there's quite a bit of double on the roof there, and they will be beautifully painted by the launch of the BTRC.
Earlier on, Alan Cooper. We can see has got the lead advantage. He just controlled the pace. He was 19,000 seconds slower than the trucks behind last time through, so he's just maintaining the gap at this one, and is now looking to haul himself in the
This is a great battle. The second and third places on the podium. Dale Jen is not one to be discounted in this battle as well. He's looking at the back of Eric Bolton.
contact between Dale Jones and Eric Bolton.
Something was bound to give at some stage. Stand on the left-hand side of Paddock Ben had the most awesome view. Stayed with the turn onto the
It is a brilliant drawing. Just a great point as you get there as well. Slower cars, I can race here in the past. It is an exhilarating look. You get it right, and it's like 12 laps completed, 9.5 minutes.
The advantage is
to try and see if he can prize them all over, but he still can't find his...
Very close indeed together, aren't they, as they come out of the end of lap number 14.
They're both pushing hard.
Yes, and Oxford's just put a bit of daylight to himself. Second place battle with Cooper and Bolton. Just 3 tenths of a second between the two of them as they go
races last year, but is in the full season this year. Has had a solid weekend. He's had good pace all weekend. Very important. Surtees, 4 tenths of a second. This time it's making for a quick change.
Negligible now with Cooper just leading from Bolton, and we've got 4.5 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time for this back on the second.
Just round top punching's truck there, all of us. And Michael Smith, the back-to-back former champion, moves up.
So good to see Michael up at the sharp end because there's been a couple of races that he's taken him to get up there. So Michael Smith is up there, so he's got 8 minutes to go, and this back on the second race is still.
The truck's in second and third position, so is that just right? I suspect so. Second time for it. Slow each other up again because they are still fighting over position. There was just 3 tenths of a second between the pair as they crossed the line last time through, and it's still Alan Cooper in second place, Eric Bolton in third position, and thereafter in fourth place it still remains Jonathan Hatfield from Michael Smith.
2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock of this race. Alan Cooper's dropped in second place. On the way down to Graham Hill Bend, they accelerate along the Cooper straight into Surtees they go, and they can see Brian Hadfield in the distance, a little bit closer every lap as we get towards the conclusion of this race.
So through go the leading 3 with around 3 down to 6th position. I thought I saw that change out. Of Eric Bolton, second to third, just again, here's the close enough to put the attack with a good exit, coming over the start-finish line, could be the opportunity of the Eric Bolton needs to be careful because his position
pursuit of second place. He's just received the black and white warning flag within the confines of the circuit. It was further black, and also Alan Cooper receiving a black and white warning flag for Jack Higgins. So they both need to be a bit cautious, don't they, in the closing stages of this race.
Last time through with 52.274, not quite into 51, which was where Mark Willis was earlier on. But it does look as though we are going to have three different winners out of three pickup truck races here. The checker flag goes out, and round three of the 2026 pickup truck racing championship goes the way of Brian Hatfield. Jonathan Hatfield just manages to finish fourth place on Thompson, Michael's 56th place. Now, Jeff.